No, it's I looking at the weather map. The green stuff is gone.
Hey, man.
Hey, how are y'all, buddy? Y'all ready?
Yes, sir. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, we're pleased to be joined in our media center now by Dale Earnhardt Jr. He drives the number 88 Amp Energy Sugar-Free Lightning National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, and he comes into this race 8th in points. And Dale, first off, tell us about that new paint scheme you have out there. That's a good-looking race car.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's turned out pretty good. It's a sugar-free Lightning flavor of Amp, and I like the Lightning, and so I'm not much of a, I try to do my best on designing them cars, but I think this might be the best one we've come out with so far, so I'm pretty proud of it. And, it's great to, I'm actually really do like the Lightning flavor. That's what I drink probably the most of back home, but so it's kind of cool to have the sugar-free here unveiled and on the car for this weekend. And I wish we could do, these kind of things more often, really kind of, sort of go through all the flavors week after week. It'd be kind of cool to have different cars, different color cars every week, change it up a little bit. But so it's fun for me to be able to do the one-off stuff like we're doing this weekend. A lot of fun.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Dale. If you have one, raise your hand, and we'll get to you. Start here on the front, MJ, with Dustin, then we'll go to Lee back here, and then to Joe. Go ahead, Dustin.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Dale, Jimmy Johnson was in here earlier, and I'd asked him if he saw anything different out of you from last year. And the one comment he made, he says, I saw where Lance jumped on him, and Dale Jr. is letting people push him, and he's pushing himself in areas that aren't comfortable, and that is helping him a lot this year. And he says, that type of pressure can spark things in people. He says, you kept your composure, stayed on the wheel, and drove up and got a good top 10 finish. Are you having yourself? Are you doing things that in years past would not have been comfortable? Do you have to do those types of things, or is Jimmy maybe seeing something that really isn't there?
Well, I don't know. I don't really. I don't feel uncomfortable when we. Me and Lance have just. He made he made a lot of changes in the off season. And he made a lot of calls that he had to make, and he knew he had to pull the trigger on a few things. And the guys, and myself included, really sort of forgot and erased what happened in the past and tried to start fresh and just, imagine a better future for ourselves and imagine ourselves being more competitive. The changes helped a lot. The people that we moved in and moved around helped a lot. Chris Heroy, which is a guy he's an engineer, we call him Sunshine. He, I don't know where he got the name, but he's been a big help, and a couple other guys that came on board. The relationship with Lance, I've worked with, I was counting it, I think I've worked with about 6 different crew chiefs. So Lance is, we're not kin or related, and we have to respect each other more, I think, because of our different backgrounds and upbringing and whatever and what have you. But the longer we work together, the more respect we have for each other. I read an article where he said that there's a lot of respect back and forth, and the way that he sort of he backs me up a little bit more than I'm used to, I guess. He has he sort of has my back in a lot of situations. I feel like he's I feel like that we're, the reason why I guess I was able to keep my composure is because I knew that he wanted the same result I wanted, I guess. So I knew that he was pulling for me, or we were on the same path and on the same page. Even though I was upset, I wasn't upset at him or anybody. I was upset at NASCAR, but I wasn't upset at him or anybody on the team, and I just had to sort of get it all that shit off my chest. But the I just think the reason we're running better is because of the changes we made in all season, mainly, and that has given us some confidence. The guys that were already there are more confident because of those changes. Everybody can sort of see a little different step, in our walk. So last year when we were struggling and say we'd show up and unload the car and it was a little bit off, it was really easy to accept it and just, it was disappointing as hell, but there was no reaction of we can fix it. You didn't really have that feeling or confidence that could happen. Say if it was, the practice before qualifying at any of those races, those last 10, that was sort of the feeling that I had. I figured, if we did fix it, oh well. If we didn't, that wouldn't surprise me either. So, but this year you have that feeling. It's, anytime there's this little thing that sort of goes wrong, you got it's a little switch comes on where you go, well, we can probably fix this, and we'll be, this is not a problem. Because we just have so much more communication going on, so it's good. Lance has done a lot of great things, and he started off when he came as a crew chief, building a few cars that he thought needed to be a little different in some ways, and I drove them and liked them. And then in the off season, once he understood that was his position and his right to do so, he made the changes to the team, and so he deserves a lot of credit.
How long has it been since you felt like if you guys weren't running well, you could make the changes and make it better?
Well, probably 3/4 of the way through the first season with Rick, when we were running pretty good all year, and then it all went to hell right then.